All right, how we doing today? This is the Remnant One, and today's 8th October 2020, and I'm gonna go on and push through a lot of this food and health series with cholesterol. This is going to be all I'm going to do, maybe for the day. I don't know, because I have other things I want to tend or need to tend to. So this is like the third volume of this segment, and we're going to just go over some stats of high cholesterol and maybe bring up some ideas or some remedies to help reverse that. Okay, so I like to start by just going over this COVID count for the day. All right, and we are in the second wave of this so-called pandemic, where I think the deaths are something to be monitored more than the cases. Many feel that we're quarantined by now. All right, so probably if you contracted this virus, all right, or let's just say if you're asymptomatic, or maybe you haven't got tested positive, maybe because of the lack of antibodies, then it ravages your body either quickly or slowly. All right. So we haven't got all the data about what this virus can do, and I don't know if we ever will. Needless to say that they're probably never going to find a effective vaccine for this virus. But anyway, total cases of the United States is 7.858 million people that's been diagnosed with 52,000 cases a day, 212,000 deaths. And we have about 1,000 deaths every day, okay? Now that we are well into October, okay? Worldwide, 36.2 million cases and a little over 1 million cases, all right? So out of all the different countries here, America, particularly the United States, they lead the way. And we have a lot of issues here with diet and so forth. And you have so many different food option here, particularly fast food restaurants. Okay, you pretty much have one to two on every block here. Okay, and this is just, I don't know. A lot of times people will buy fast food. I know that we're busy, all right, but we wouldn't have half these issues if, as a result of eating a lot of this fast food, okay, and the types of it, of high cholesterol. So this is what we're going to get into, and again at the end, then I can probably tell you some ways I think that can help reverse that. So let's get into it. So cholesterol is basically like a fatty wax, okay, that streams throughout your blood. Okay, if it's too much of it, it can make your veins clog up. You could either have like a blood clot, a stroke, or a heart attack. Okay, depending on the location where that clot is. Okay, so just some recommended levels. All right, where total cholesterol should be in the healthy level, that is between 125 to 200 milligrams, okay, per DL. Non-HDL, okay, 130 milligrams for non-HDL here. Your low, that's your healthy cholesterol, natural healthy cholesterol, less than 100 milligrams. All right, I think that's a little bit higher. They can allow that to be a little bit higher, just depending on your doctor. But they like it to be lower because they like lower liabilities. And your HDL should be more than about 40 milligrams. A lot of your what they call the HDL, that's a lot of your bad fats, and you find a lot of that in fried foods. Okay, and depending on what type of meat you eat, with a lot of fat like pork, or a lot of this shellfish like shrimp and all that, they have very high cholesterol levels. All right. So this is an article from CDC.gov. Okay, I question if a lot of if this data is true, is accurate. Okay, But whether it's accurate or not, we have somewhat of a basis here, okay? And I believe that there's some type of truth or fact to it. So, more than 12% of adults, okay, 2015 to 2016, 20 or older, had a total cholesterol or higher of 240 milligrams per DL, okay? As I said before, okay, let's look at, it should be 125, no more than 200, all right? Now, they can handle that better, but you people, most of these young adults under 20, would give it some time, all right? Then you will see the difference, okay? And more than 18% of had high density lipoprotein, HDL, I was telling you about, cholesterol levels less than 40 milligrams, okay? Now, that's pretty good, but the total is very, very high, okay? But the HDL is fairly decent. Slightly more than half the adults, all right, that's 55%, okay, could benefit from cholesterol medicine, all right? So that's half the adults are suspect to that, okay? 93 million U.S. adults age 20 or older have high total cholesterol levels higher than 200, okay? Nearly 29% of adult Americans have total cholesterol levels higher than 240. So that's about 93 million is probably about a quarter, and you're looking at probably a little bit less than 10%. They have a high total amount of 240. Okay, so that's you're pretty much looking at about somewhere around 25%. Now check this out: 7% of U.S. children and adolescents ages 6 to 19 have a total cholesterol. Okay, so that probably results to a lot of mothers these days. Okay, you don't have like a lot of two-parent homes like we used to, working, and maybe they buy a lot of processed foods and all that. Okay, maybe cooking enough. Okay, guys to maybe to last for like 2 or 3 days, or maybe putting together like healthy meals and snacks. That will probably cut that in half. Provided if you take the time to do that, or you encourage maybe or go out with your children and eat healthy foods. Not saying that you're doing that, but we can all do a better job of that, including myself. It has no symptoms, okay, all right, for many of them, but however, okay, that raises the risk of heart disease. That's why I say if you give it some time, then you'll see the difference. That if you do have a heart attack or a stroke, that is probably going to result in high cholesterol. All right. So a lot of these different states, and I like to say this, out of these 93% or 93 million Americans, all right, many of these are African Americans, probably a good 2/3 of that. And as African Americans, we have twice as chance of getting that than our white or Latin counterparts. Okay, our Latin counterparts are probably going to be somewhere in the middle. Okay, as well as women. And as well as the children, okay, particularly pregnant women. That's something to worry about. Okay, so they say that heart disease is the 5th leading cause of death. I believe it's like number 1. And remember what I said though: if you have these conditions, and I made a video about diabetes and high blood pressure as well, and trust me, I had all 3 of them. That even enhances your chances of any type of serious infection like COVID-19, okay, or any other virus. And trust me, we will have another virus so in the future, no doubt about it. So here's the states, and if you look at the high blood pressure chart, it's pretty much the same states as well, because all this stuff works in hand to hand. You can see a lot of these states are states in the southeast, okay. I don't know why Georgia is not, but they should be in it too, okay? With a lot of the different types of barbecue and shellfish, the way that it's cooked in, okay? A lot of that pork and all that stuff, they have a lot of fat in that stuff. And as well as your shellfish, let's say in the Gulf Coast here, a lot of your crawfish. That stuff is not good for you anyway because of what they eat. They're bottom feeders. Okay, pork. A lot of pork should not be eaten, but they're going to have a high content of everything. Okay, which is going to trickle down on you and your family. Okay. In Florida, they eat a lot of reptile there, gator. Okay, that stuff is really not even made to eat at all. Okay, maybe unless it's an occasional delicatessen. All right, a lot of the states here in the north, okay, and many in the northeast are fairly elevated. All right, but this is where a lot of your foodies are, and you'll have high cases of cholesterol. Okay. All right, we're running out of time, but just a few by ethnicity and sex. Okay. This is self-explanatory. Non-Hispanic blacks, okay, 10% of women and about the same amount of men, okay, a little bit more. Hispanics, 13% to 9% of Hispanics. So my Latin counterparts, you need to really watch your cholesterol levels, all right, and work on that. Non-Hispanic whites, 10.9%, okay? And then non-Hispanic Asians are 11.3%. Now, see, they don't have that problem in Asia, okay? Many of the people that come from other countries like Africa or Asia and so forth, they don't have these problems with a lot of the ailments like high blood pressure and diabetes until they get here. And they get influenced with a lot of the American food and culture, okay? They thought that they have made progress on high cholesterol, probably with the medications, people checking up on doctors. But again, this stuff can be reversed. And what I recommend is, okay, like a more plant-based diet. Instead of eating all the meats, you should probably have more than 3 to 5 ounces of meat a day. And the higher that's amount, that's if you're probably working out and you're doing extensive cardiovascular workout. You probably should replace the meat with nuts if you can, or fruit. Okay, like we love good food, but I don't know. I don't think you should eat out probably more than once a week, and you should work concentrate on trying to occasionally fast, maybe like 4 days a week. Okay, and try to cut your meals down to about 1 meal a day. If you could do that 4 times a week, and maybe you could eat just a little bit of fruit or nuts or whatever, just so you keep your stomach churning, you could probably lose about 15-20 pounds in about 6 months. Or if you could try like a water diet for 21 days, you could lose 15 pounds. All right, so, all right, you should have your cholesterol checked often, probably every 3 to 6 months. Go to the doctor more if you're not going enough. Okay, they say 4 to 6 years, but you should do that every 3 to 6 months. All right. Your health is your wealth. And we'll get into some more serious stuff later, and other things like vitamins and, you know, the types of food that we could eat. But consider a lot of high fiber foods, a lot of green leafy vegetables and fruits instead of the sweets and all that. And that'll conclude this video, and we're going to move on probably to like cancer and heart attack and stroke. But thanks for listening. All right. If you like it, feel free to subscribe. Check out some of the other videos.